Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever you're having, I hope it's good. We're back with hopefully one of the last days of working on our little jam game mini delivery. Just got a couple of quality of life issues to wrap up. We fixed all the bugs that I'm aware of. I think today we're gonna tackle the control scheme, the unlocked control scheme. Excuse me, as an alternative to the jams control scheme. So that's I think what we're gonna go for today here. Let's do that. Mini delivery. Drink your coffee, people. Don't inhale it. Coffee is not for inhaling. Ugh. Okay. I'm finishing up my toast, so apologize if I take a couple of toast breaks here. So I think what we want is for like when we hit play, I think here before we get to this part, we'll have a control scheme selection. I might change the font first. I kind of don't want to use my font anymore. This is like my custom font. Hey, North Pole Light. Yeah, it's tough. How's it going? Welcome to the channel here. We're working on some final little adjustments to our little 72-hour jam game from the solo dev game jam a couple weeks ago. This is our game. We're working on a couple little changes to it. How are you doing? Just gonna drive around for a minute. You've probably never seen this. It's a little like kind of crazy taxi style game, but you play a tiny delivery person trying to drop off packages in this crazy city here. Seemingly haven't fixed the issue of people walking on top of each other, but I'm okay with that. I can live with that. They look, oh my god, they look like on balance here they're a decent distance apart. Oh, thank you so much, North Pole Light. Did you participate in the jam? You couldn't yet exams? No, I feel that. This was probably my last jam of the year. I also have obligations for like Ludum Dare, which is the one I was really looking forward to. I don't think I'll be able to do October's Ludum Dare, so I'm really glad I was able to do this one, at least. But yeah, I feel you on that. Okay, so got our menu. I think I want to use this screen. I want to use like this image. I don't want to use the tutorial image. So we're gonna make a new scene. And it's the control scheme scene. That's what we'll call it. Start classes this month as well, so sad. Yeah. I feel that. I hope you get some free time. for dev at some point. We do this early in the morning before I do this early in the morning before my regular work day. So I feel it. I understand being like, you know, torn in terms of time. But appreciate you swinging by, hanging out here. All right, so throw in a texture rect. Grab this one. Margin container. What are the what's the stats for this one? 0.5. I've got you anchored in the center, and then you're... Oh, you're not the one I'm going to use. I don't mind anchoring in the middle, though. So we'll give you a panel so we can see what we're doing. Layout, we'll use anchors. Anchor in the center. Custom, I guess. Do you want to use like a tooltip? Is the tooltip something I can do here? Is there a tooltip UI? Doesn't seem like it. I guess what we'll do is we'll have a text, we'll have a label appear when you select an item, and then we'll have like a confirm. So you can see, so we can have the two buttons. We're going to have two buttons. We're going to have like original, which will be the original controls, and then like unlocked, which will be standard controls. Because this is our post-jam update. So I think freeing this game from the constraints of the two-button control scheme will help some people. Oh, my lights aren't on. It's like, why do I look so orange? There we go. Pasty white, how I like it here. How I'm supposed to look. I really barely dug into the amount of detail in the control scheme world. The green nodes. This is my first game using the Node 3D red nodes. I'm like really only comfortable maybe using the blue Node 2D nodes. But I'm learning. I'm learning all this stuff. Actually, you're the whole thing, aren't you? So you're more like... There you go. So this is the whole area. We don't... This is the UI area that we're going to use. This will be the usable area. You're literally just learning Godot. You'll stick with 2D for now. Yeah, I love Godot for 2D. As someone who spent like a decade plus working in Unity, Godot's 2D is amazing. And yeah, the learning curve is not too bad. I've only been using Godot about a year, and I've really enjoyed it so far. So we're gonna give you another margin container. Gonna be a title. Screen title? I don't know. Put you under there. We'll call this title area. I haven't done a lot of oh, I thought you were a margin container. You are a margin container. I haven't been naming these very well. Layout container. This node is a child of a container. Yeah. Container sizing. Margins. Let's put the text in here. Label. Let's apply the theme so that we're using the same theme for everything. Though I think I want to change this theme. I don't want to use this font. You're just learning to code. You're learning Python, made a little game there. You want to try and make another game in Godot. Python's a great way to start Godot, at least, as long as you're using GDScript. I am much more comfortable with I'm much more comfortable with C#, but when I switched to Godot, I decided I wanted to learn GDScript, and I've enjoyed it so far. I eventually may switch to C# for my game stuff in Godot when it's a little more developed. Let's tighten this up here. That's too tight. Something like that. Yeah, it's maybe. Let me give it a little room to breathe here. These are the margins from the inside, right? Okay. Yes. Something like that. You'll eventually want to try and learn another language whenever you're comfortable in Python. Yeah, for sure. Dynamic and static languages are a little different, but they're not so different. You'll get a little used to the convenience of having everything be dynamic, but I love type safety. I always try to use like the type safe version of GDScript when I'm able to. Part of that is just where I come from. Why is this? I thought I said this to be centered. It says it's centered, so maybe I just need to up the lower margin a little bit. Yeah, I do. Well, maybe not. There we go. All right, so we'll have two buttons here. I might be overdoing it with the margin containers. Control buttons. You're not a child of that, you're a child of this. Add you a horizontal. H box. And give you two buttons. I wonder what a check button looks like. Oh, it's literally just that. Okay, never mind. add some margin here, a little more. That's too much. You always type safe in Python. It's a good way to learn. True. Very true. Oh, let's say that. Say like that. This is going to be original. And this will be unlocked. Add a little more separation between these. Why is this affecting the title area? Like, they're siblings. Is it pushing this whole thing around? Is that what's happening? Maybe having this parent usable area one is a mistake. Let's just get rid of that. Oh, not what I wanted to do. Yeah, it was literally doing nothing. Okay. So now I'm free to control these better. I can say your anchor is in the center. I can say I can change your anchor offsets. Why isn't this getting smaller? And why is this stuck here? Down here. It doesn't really matter. Let's mess with the margins now. Okay, yeah, let's do it this way. Here we go. I don't know if using the margins or using the anchor offsets is better. I'm gonna do it like this though. Something like this. Move it up a little. That's fine. Original unlocked, and we'll have descriptions of the, oops, we'll have descriptions of the two here. We'll have a continue button somewhere. It's fine, seems fine. Yeah, I don't know if I have a strong opinion about where I want my anchors and how I like doing the offsets and the margins and stuff. Kind of just trying stuff out right now. So how do I want this to work? I kind of want it to be, you click it. I don't know. We could do it a number of ways. We could be like, you click it, it brings up the description, and then you hit confirm. But I kind of just want to have both descriptions. And then you just click the one that you want. And it just takes you into the game. I do need to add a back button to the following menus, like the tutorial menu, as well as probably this menu. Should is the word. I don't know if I will, but I should. Oh. Panel container. I feel like I should be using this. Instead of having a panel and label separately, I could just have a panel container and then put the label in the panel. Let's try that here. Never tried to do that before. Million ways to skin a cat here, it seems. Oh, I need to set a style box. Okay, so that'd be cool. New style box empty. Content margins. Interesting. I'm gonna not do this now because I don't really have textures and stuff I want to use. But if I had my own things for the UI, I would do that. Instead, I'm gonna do what I've just been doing. Because we're just trying to wrap this up. We're not really exploring new ways of doing things at the moment here. So panel. Oh, can I just do that anyway? Did I have this wrong? Oh, container sizing. That's what I wanted. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so why isn't this filling the space? Is the thing about it. I think I actually do want this to be a panel container. There we go. Okay, okay. Okay, yeah, panel container is good. If anything, I just need a little bit of margin. Need a little margin here. Get a line center. Maybe here, maybe? No, not empty. New style box flat? No. New style box texture? No. Okay, so can I not? It's right up against the edge, which I don't want. How did I manage to not have that be the problem here? Don't totally understand how I've avoided that so far. And then here I'm running into a problem. I think it has to do with the container nature of it. I just made you a regular panel. You have no characteristics, huh? I need some more margins here. That's what margin would be for in this case. No, that's just pushing the whole thing in. I need to push the words. I need to make this panel bigger. Box flat. Background color. I want whatever the buttons are by default, or they just please just be 127 alpha. That's close. It's a hard edge. I want like the default panel look, but I want to add a margin. I guess I may need another margin container. Okay. That's not really how I wanted to do this, but we're learning. Like, it's cool how the UI gets built out like this, but it's also kind of annoying. I also want to provide this a definite area past which it does not go. So you need an auto wrap. You need an arbitrary auto wrap. Do I have to specify how large you are? I don't want to use some of these label things at some point. My font here really needs a shadow. Oh yeah, like that. So we can do font shadow with my font. It's a little pixelated. I'm not going to worry about that now. That's just me experimenting for the future. However, okay, let's get rid of you. Clear. Why are you so tiny? Do I just need to make the panel container bigger? Is that the problem? Yeah, probably. That's probably the problem. And the margin container, probably. Margin container. Container sizing. Fill. Shrink. Fill. Grow direction. I really want it to grow, is the thing. Container sizing, stretch ratio. No. Why am I struggling here? Minimum size, that's what I need to specify. Where do I do that? Oh, here it is. Custom minimum size. There we go. Do you have a minimum size specified? Oh, look, this has a minimum size specified. And why is it showing no text now? Ah, there it is. Somehow I changed the number of visible characters. I don't know how I did that. Still don't know how to add a margin here. I've never had that problem with any of my other label panel combinations, but because I'm trying to nest them, I'm running into some issues. So I'm going to stop doing that because it seems to be causing just problems. I'm going to make a panel and I'm going to separately have a label, since that's what I know how to do in theory. I don't understand why you're so small though. Because my panel is not set to fill. It is set to fill. So weird. I have not had this problem at all with any of the rest of my UI. But for some reason, I can't create the spacing correctly here. There's nothing special about you. There's nothing special about you except that you're centered. You have this great big area. You move the whole thing when we move stuff. You can move the whole thing. It's set a minimum size, I guess. It's probably the easiest thing to do here. Like that. Hey, Cubus. How's it going? Oh, this is not the label for the original. This would be the label for the other one. So this one would be AD or arrows or left, right. Let's make this a little bigger. Something like that. So let's give some more space here. Going good? You said it first. Yeah, we're good. We're almost done, I think. I'm adding in the control scheme, the unlocked control scheme today. It's the only new feature in our list of things to do. Kind of just struggling with the controls. And by controls, I mean the UI, but we're getting there. So we'll say or left, right. So let's make this a little, we need a little more room here. Arrow keys to turn. Both left and right to, we don't have a lot of room. Hold. Left and right to break, reverse. It's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. Let's align to center. You can use Unicode arrows. Just make a sprite at that point. Let's see if we like the Unicode. I mean, I'm using a custom font, so that's not going to work. But maybe if we switch to a regular font, which I want to do, but that's a separate task. I'll probably need to reposition some stuff. AD or left, right, arrow keys to turn. Both left, right to break, reverse. I think that's fine. Another one of these. Break, reverse, AD. Yeah. You're certainly making it like simplified and laconic, but I think describing it in more detail is helpful, at least for that one. But you might be right. It might be better to do it the other way. This one instead is going to say WASD or arrow keys to move. Yeah, the one on the left is a lot wordier than the one on the right. I'd say drive. Let's say drive. Let's add a separation here. And let's move this button over. It's not exactly balanced. But it's okay. Why is that not doing anything? Oh, because it needs to be bigger. Actually seems fine. It's good enough. It's not beautiful, but I'm kind of okay with this. The original controls are wordy. And then the right one is less wordy. I kind of want people to use the unlock controls anyway. So I'm okay with them being kind of just better in every way. Got some warnings here, but I'm getting around them by just shoving them into a margin container. So now we need to hook up the script here. So let's hook up the signals. I would like to do a toggle and like a confirm and like all this stuff, but I don't want to think about how to do that right now, so we're not going to. So we want this first tutorial scene, because we're going to use that. You need to change the main menu. Cube Miser, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Hope you've been enjoying our struggles with control. This is not the script. This is the script. So when we hit the play button, we don't want to do this. We want to grab this one. And we want it as a variable. Get rid of first tutorial. Plug in control scheme. Do we want to do the same thing with the game? The game over? Losing control. Yeah, for serious. All right, so when we press the original button, so we need an auto load. I'm going to make another auto load. It's going to be called... It's going to be called control scheme. Oh, shoot. It cannot be called control scheme. Unless I rename the other one, which I might just do. So instead of control scheme, it's going to be called control menu. the script to also be control menu. Go back to this because this will be broken now. Really wish switching tabs would change script. I understand why it doesn't, but it's something I'm never going to get over. Control menu. Control menu. Control menu. Okay, now we can make a control scheme auto load. This is going to be a... This is going to be interesting. So how is the control scheme thing the schemer gonna work? Are we gonna have it change the input map? Probably. That's probably the easiest way to do it. Have it just rewrite the input map depending on what you... No, that doesn't make a lot of sense. It makes some sense, actually. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Let's look at input map. This was something I was struggling with in another project, is it's not clear to me. I can add events, and I can erase events, but I cannot... I can't really change them. I don't think we ever actually got to this in the standardized control code we were working on. The easier thing to do would be to just listen for a key. And that's probably what we're going to do here. It's not the correct thing to do, but it's probably what we're going to do in this case. Since I don't really care about doing it correctly, I kind of just want to do it. The other thing is we would just make a new input events using certain keys, but I actually don't understand how to make an input event. That's probably what we should do. We should probably just clear the input thing and just add events to an action. Thing is, I don't know how to make input events. Like, I don't know how to define. They have like no properties. No, let's set them up. Let's set them up here. Here's what we're going to do. Since we don't have key remapping, we're just going to set all the events up. So this will be turn left original. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. So this is going to be original turn left. It's going to be original turn right. Actually, this is turn left or turn right for everything, right? This doesn't actually change, so we can actually leave these the same. We're just going to make new events for other things. There's something else I want to add to this. WASD, we say WASD or arrow keys, and we're also going to say controller support. There we go. So we've got WASD or arrow keys to drive, and we're also going to mention that this has controller support under unlocked. So we are going to do it this way. So original, turn left, original, turn right, original. We'll make some new actions. We'll say turn left, unlocked. Turn right. I would do this very differently if we added control remapping. Kind of torn about the controller support. I'm thinking it would be cool to have left and right on the left joystick and then have forward or back on the right joystick. Just so you're not super concerned about doing both with the same thumb, but some people might want to. But since there's... I'm just going to do it this way. Going to be used by just pretty much me testing this on my Steam Deck, if I'm able to. And okay, so now we'll say forward unlocked. Forward is forward arrow. W. Or forward on the right joystick. Meow moo Lemieux. How's it going? Adding an unlocked control scheme to our jam game here is one of the last things we do before we call it a wrap. Bothers me that this original button feels like it's off balance. Maybe that's just a trick of the mind here. If anything, it's the unlocked one that's off balance. Whatever. Good enough. Calling this good enough. Going good. Working on a cutscene component. Cool, a cutscene component. That's wild. I don't know if I would ever try doing cutscenes. Maybe in 2D, I could convince myself to try to do like Stardew Valley style cutscenes, but that scares me. So, good for you tackling that. By component, do you mean like a kind of generic component that you can use to handle like any cutscene, rather than just like working on a specific cutscene? All right, so our control scheme script is really just going to be an enum, I guess. Active scheme, active. I guess it doesn't need to be an enum. It can honestly just be a bool. Variable control scheme dot unlocked. Let's make it like as simple as possible. Okay, so on original button pressed, control scheme dot unlocked is false, and then we get tree change scene to packed. First tutorial. Hopefully, for now, it just makes black bars appear on the top and bottom, makes the dialog box and portraits appear, then sequentially plays out dialogue from a text file. That's rad. That's still pretty cool. Should I let people use A and B for accelerate and reverse? Is that something people might want to do? Instead of right joystick? Yeah, it seems reasonable. Action button. Backwards button. You managed to make the driving controls feel a bit less chaotic? Kinda. Compared to some of the state earlier on, it's pretty reasonable. I mean, it's hard for me to judge just because I have... Oh, that worked. Okay. I have so much experience in this game now. The controls don't work anymore because I broke them. We can show that off a little bit, but I think the driving is reasonable. I'll have a web build up this weekend, so hopefully more people can try it, check it out. Control scheme unlocked is true. We just do this. So we need something here. Let me try this again. As far as I can tell, I can't drive the cursor with the it might take more work to be able to use the menu with the joystick, but that's fine because this only runs on PC. So I don't think it's worth it trying to deal with that. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. Let's just get it working. So we've got our control unlocked setting here. Now we just need... Now we just need to implement it in the minivan. So here, so this is the original controls. So we'll put all of this under an else. Now we write a new set of controls for if control scheme dot unlocked. We'll take this. This is going to need to be a bit different. So if input action... Oh, first let's fix this. So how did I write this? Turn left original. Okay, so then this is going to be... So we don't do the braking here anymore. Is action pressed? Is that going to return true for an axis, for an input axis? It won't, right? Why didn't it take me to the thing when I control clicked it? Stretch, Temptic. Hey, Temptic. Thank you. Thank you for the stretch. I'm unable to move or stretch or do anything unless ordered to do so by my chat overlords. There are worse entrances. There are more you know, involved entrances. Still a good entrance though. All right, so what were we doing? Saying is action pressed. My presumption is that this will not return true if I'm using a joystick. Is my presumption. In which case we just need to add an extra check for. We'll need to make an axis. There's a controller being used. You know a worse one? Best viewers on? Yeah. That would be a funny way to catch somebody. I don't think you'd catch me with that, because usually it's like a first-time viewer, but that would be funny. It'd be a good way to get yourself banned. Probably auto-modded is probably what you would get. All right. So we're implementing an unlock control scheme here, Temptic. And we're thinking about how to do it. So here, if control scheme's unlocked, we need to do everything differently. So this is how we did it before. We're still going to have this part, which is our brake if we're going forward, reverse if we're not. We want to set the steer target either way. Where you have like Hexic and Marius who got banned by your bot. Oh, and since you share your bans with 11 channels, they also got banned there. Oof. Remind me never to get on your bad side. All right, so for unlocked, what we actually, rather than checking if action pressed, let's just make the axes and then see if they're not equal to 0. Yeah? Seems good. Something like that? That may or may not work. Godot. Do joysticks report as is action pressed? So we'll say, let's just make our axes. Horizontal. All this. Steering axis. Input dot get axis. Turn left. Oh, it needs to be reversed. It needs to be turn right. And turn right unlocked. Turn left unlocked. So that's our steering axis. Call this like an acceleration axis. I don't know. Our driving axis. Momentum. I don't know. Engine axis. All right, so we've got our engine axis. We can do this. Something like this. So if linear dot dot Why are you upset with me right now? Expected statement found indent. Did I not finish this somehow? No, variable engine axis equals input.getAxis. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, you're too far indented. I see. If linear velocity dot dot transform basis is greater than 0, so we're gonna break versus reverse. I guess we don't want linear velocity. Is brake strength and reverse strength truly different? Yeah, they're very different. Okay. So we do want to check that. We also want to check to see. So we'll say if engine axis is greater than 0, say engine force applying the engine force. Oh, up here. We cannot do that. To move that. Move that into here. Engine force value times 2 minus speed divided by. So this is supposed to accelerate us faster. So instead here we'll say engine force value times engine axis. Here we'll say engine force value times engine axis times brake strength. We don't need to do negative engine force value because engine axis is going to be a negative number in these cases. If that may or may not work. Then we've got our steering axis, so then we need to do this part. Our steer target Oh, so our steer target is just this axis already. So let's just move this over. That should be it. Famous last words. Let's see. Let's see if we got it. First, let's see if the original control scheme even works. Okay, so far, so yes. Let's make sure I can't do any of the other controls. Like, can I decelerate manually? No. Does reverse still work? Yes. Okay, I didn't break anything. Good show. Back to the menu. Let's play again. Let's pick unlocked. I'm gonna add a plus here. Plus controller support. Oh, you don't do anything. Oh, neither of you do anything. Ah, I know why. I know why. I need to change your process mode to always. I'm gonna try this one more time. This is all working. Left, right. Back it up. And then we quit. Back to the menu. We play again. We pick unlocked. We skip. That's not right. Okay, it's reversed again. Why is it reversed? Also, it's not listening to my... Maybe I need to add a lerp like we do for steering. Because right now, it is not listening to me. Like if I just put it down and then I let go, it continues to reverse or accelerate. So that's weird. So for one thing, we need to reverse the engine axis. Ah, I see. Let's actually say, let's do it. Let's form it like this. Steer target, steering. Let's try doing it like this, where we specify Box force, we can't possibly still be using that. So we're going to say engine target is this. Then we're going to say then what we'll do is we'll say engine target's this. Then here, instead of this, we're going to say engine target equals engine target times equals engine force value times this. I want an acceleration constant. Start with 1. The tough part is going to be making the vehicle behave the same way under both control schemes. Okay, so if engine axis is greater than 0, we'll do that. If engine axis is less than 0, and if linear velocity ... we'll say the same thing here. We're going to say engine target times equals engine force value times brake strength. Here we'll say engine target engine force value times reverse speed. And then regardless of all of that, we're going to say engine force equals move toward engine force engine. We might not be able to do this last one. We might need to just say engine force equals engine target. We're going to actually comment this one out. Try just applying it raw. It's raw. And if it's too raw, we'll do something about it. Because right now in the original, we're just saying engine force is engine force value, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. We're applying it directly. We are not doing any... Unlike steering, we're not doing any lerping, so I don't think we're going to do that here. We're just going to directly apply it. Let's see. Let's see what we get. Unlocked. Skip. So if you let go, you eventually decelerate. So I could go from straightforward to hitting the brakes. if I hit the brakes enough, I will start to reverse, and I can actually control my reversing. We couldn't do this under original controls. You'd be locked to whatever deal you were at. Then I can go, oh my god. Oh, does the red car kill me? Yes, it does. Okay. The starting camera position doesn't work as well under unlock controls because it doesn't do its pan. Let's see if this is more stable than the other control scheme. Like if we don't experience the weird uncontrolled turning that we normally would do. We seem to be doing that worse actually now. Hold on, let me understand why. So here, steering is moved towards 0 otherwise. Steering just equals 0. I see. So let's say this. Let's say if, let's grab steer target. Let's say if steer target, if not is 0 approximately, steer target. We'll do this. Otherwise, else steering equals 0. We're going to do that just because that helps stabilize the system. We're doing that down here in the original scheme. So let's do that up here as well. Let's not worry about any kind of acceleration for engine force. All right, that might be it. We might have done it. I don't mind this as a starting screen, actually. If you reverse, it's a little awkward. Okay, yeah, it immediately returns to 0 if you stop steering. I like that. Let's drive around. Let's see how this feels. I think there's quite a few people that will prefer this control scheme. Actually, I think everyone will prefer this control scheme. Slam on the brake. Oh boy, not too much though. Okay, let's see how stable we are at speed. Because that was a problem that we had a lot. Yeah, so we still have it. There's a weird box 3D problem where a wheel becomes disconnected and you start turning. Like a wheel loses contact with the ground and you start turning and there's like nothing you can do. You just start turning in circles, but that's fine. This doesn't feel slower than the regular game. That's important. It should be just exactly the same. It sounds the same. All right, here's the moment of truth here. Does the controller work? Yes, it does. Sweet. How about this? You still can't control the menu with the joystick. I'm okay with that. I can live with that. Maybe we'll put it under a list of things here. I'm gonna say add controller support. I'm gonna check this off because we did it. We had unlocked controls as an alternative to jams. I'm not gonna check off add controller yet until we decide whether we want to add that full support to the menu screen. But that was very nice. That felt very successful. It seems comparable. Doesn't seem like we get any different behavior, which is kind of a minor miracle. What was I gonna do? There's something I was gonna do. Oh, yeah, slight change to this. We're going to this song plus all right, well, that was pretty good. Is there something we can knock out in like 5 minutes on here on this list? Rewrite the tutorial screens? No. Replace custom font? Maybe. Add a credits button in screen? No. Make effect sounds play while adjusting volume? Maybe. I would need to change the volume mixer into... I mean, I could do that. I could change the volume mixer into a sound thing, like I did with the music player. How did I set the music player up anyway? Like, how does the music player know about the songs we're playing? You preload everything. You extend audio stream player. Oh, you preload it, I see. We could do that. We can make the volume mixer an audio player, because we basically want to be able to preview the sound effect volumes at different volumes and play them kind of randomly. That seems maybe a little more complicated. I have to end a little early today. I have an appointment that I need to keep. But I'm pretty happy with our progress today. I think adding a new control scheme is going to be really nice for a lot of people. I think it's going to keep this game relevant in my portfolio for much longer, because otherwise I have to explain why the controls suck so bad. But I think just having the alternative control scheme makes it a lot more understandable why it's like this. Oh, excuse me. Well, I only have a few more minutes. I'm going to drive around. We're just going to drive around in the game for a few minutes before I have to wrap it up. Just enjoy our work here. WASD or Arrow. So I am changing this font. This font is almost unreadable at this size. This font reads a lot better when it's much smaller on the screen. I also think I need to add shadows to make it more readable. Yeah, this font is not designed to be rendered at this size. This is a custom font I made, which is also why it's trash. Don't make your own fonts, people. Just use pre-existing fonts that other people have made. AD or left right, arrows. AD or left right, arrow keys to turn. Both left right to brake reverse. That's clear enough. It's a little too late. It's a fun experiment. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know I'm not the only one. I actually watched it. I went to see a talk at GDC, and it was about fonts, and it's about using fonts. And the lady giving the talk was like, "Don't make your own font." That was like the first thing she said, and I was like, "Oh shit, okay." This is a talk about font design and implementation in games, and she was like, "Do not make your own." She's like, "It's hard enough. Just use someone else's." Alright, let's tune this a little. Seems good. This is the in-game music I pulled, which now works. I wonder if I should have added counter steering. You kind of have to manually counter steer now. I like being able to just manually brake like that. Much easier than before. Or even just decelerate. To like make a turn. Just decelerate, make the turn. Could have added more drifting. Oops. Oh, here comes the cat. The most annoying part was setting all the kerning pairs. Oh my god, yes. I'm not even done with that. I always, every time I use my font somewhere, I notice some other kerning pair that's like wrong. Stuff like making letters closer to the F because the F is less wide than the others. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my font is not technically monospaced because like the M's and the W's are longer, but like otherwise all of the letters have the same width. And yeah, the kerning is a nightmare for that thing. And some of the kerning that would like never come up in normal circumstances become obvious in certain ones, like YouTube. Like you would never think to kern a lowercase u before an uppercase T because that literally never comes up. Oh god, I got booted. That never comes up unless you're spelling the word YouTube, in which case there's a gap. So yeah, I hate that. I hate that so much. There's so many millions of kernings that I need to do still for weird circumstances. I'm taking the attitude that I'm not going to do it until it comes up. Honestly, it's probably better to use monospace. Because it's easier, but a good PR reason would be the monospace is easier to read for people with dyslexia. Oh, interesting. My fonts are too pixel minimalist for monospace to work. Like I don't have enough room to make the M's and the W's the same width as the other letters. Okay, yeah, I like this. I like this unlocked control scheme. I like being able to just let go of the accelerator and doing a tight turn without having to like brake. And if I'm reversing, I like being able to like change what I'm doing. Pop. Crushed. I'm very happy with how that turned out. Oh, this screen doesn't work anymore. That's interesting. Options menu, main menu, scenes, main menu. Load up the scene too, just to try to understand what happened there. Yeah, it looks like the buttons are still hooked up. On save button, get tree, change scene to packed, main menu. Change scene to packed, main menu. Oh, why did that not work? Let's check the main menu. Process mode. Ah. Didn't change it to always. Okay, that was a good find. That's an annoying bug otherwise. All right, well, let's turn the music back on for a minute. That's pretty much it for today. I need to go keep my appointment, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. Let's see if there's anyone to raid. I'll have to raid and run, but if we can head over to someone else, that'd be cool. Nano is streaming. Who else on my team is streaming? Thanks, Temptic. Oh Lord. Right Kid is streaming. Oh, Nano's streaming. We're gonna stream NanoDev. NanoDev is cool. Small streamer like me. Let's give him some love. They're in the same team as me, the indie game developer team, run by Falonier. Let's go ask them about their game. If you can ship it or mail it, we can hit them with that. All right, let's go.